This video is going to cover our new lead screen, which is actually the first button over here to the left. And the things in this section of QFloors will be tracking leads and information about leads before they're turned into proposals and into customer invoices. It's been said that this could be a sales productivity tool. In a sense, it is a type of CRM, which would be programs, competitive programs outside of QFloors would be things like Salesforce.com, Act, Goldmine. If you've ever dealt with any of those, some people use Outlook in the same type of way, Microsoft Outlook. So it'll just help you keep track of what's going on with things pre-sale, and it does help track with some marketing information like the advertising. Why did the person come into the store? Was it just a referral? Did it come from TV or radio or the internet? So it'll help you track that kind of stuff so that you can know how your advertising's going. And then it also will help track what the customer is actually looking for. The left side of the screen over here too, we'll see this in just a second, can act as a sales pipeline or a sales funnel. Some people talk about that, where a salesman may be assigned all these different leads, and then he has to organize them and decide which lead is the most important ones that I'm following up on. And the ones of the highest priority are usually at the top of the list. They're the most likely to close. They're the closest to closing. And then you have, going all the way down to the ones of the lesser priorities. Maybe not very likely to close, but you still want to keep track of them and make sure that your salesperson's still following up. So those type of tools are the things that are in here. We'll just go do a basic scenario of how this would work in a typical retail store where a customer walks in and is looking for some different items that they want to pick out. So the first thing that you're going to do is a person walks through the door. Now, in your store, you would have to decide how you're going to do this. Some of you may already be doing it, and this is something totally foreign or new, and you're going to have to decide how you would implement this into your store if you wanted to. A person walks in, somebody has to log in that a new lead just walked into the store, or a new lead just called on the telephone, or a new lead just emailed us. Somebody's got to be able to log that into QFloors. So at that point, what you're going to do is you're just going to hit the new button here, and at that point, it's going to allow you to to assign this lead to one of the salespeople. Okay. So and we're going to call this a walk-in, and then you have to give them a description. Now in QFloors, you're not going to know hardly anything about this lead when they first call, walk in, whatever. And so you can just give a description, and we would put something in here like man with green shirt or something like that. Okay, we push OK, and then that's all we have to do for that. And notice that it added the man with a green shirt to our new leads list over here. Okay, the person that it was assigned to, Ryan Malone over here, is a salesperson that actually took that lead. He goes and helps the person, and hopefully he gets a lot of information from that person. Hopefully their name and maybe a phone number or whatever. They've just got to be trained to be able to get the more information, the better. So then Ryan Malone, the salesperson, after the person leaves or whatever, they would come back and start to fill in the information for this person. Okay. The man with green shirt, he actually had a name. His name was Smith. And if we had his phone number, we could put it in right there, or you just push enter. Smith Sam is his name. And if you had an address, a city, a phone, any of this kind of information, we got an email address, Sam at mountain.com, like that. And is there a projected close date? If we have that, then we know where to better to put them in the funnel. It was a walk-in and advertising. You can select this. He came in off the radio ad, and he was looking for some carpet, and it was for just a bedroom, 12 by 15 feet 6 inches, something like that. Okay, you enter that in. That's all he needed, so it wasn't that much. And then if you know the payment method, he was just going to pay for this on his credit card, and the approximate amount was going to be $500 or something like that. Oops, I missed my payment method here. Credit. Okay, and then when I save this, okay, it's actually going to turn this into a current lead. It'll move it off of this list right here, the new leads list. I will point out that there is this return lead button here. Let's say that this guy had already been in to the shop a week ago and had already talked to Kathy Mills over here, another sales rep. You can actually click on this return lead and assign it to the lead that was put in a week ago, so you're not creating duplicate leads. So if you come back and find out that this new Sam Smith guy was already in our system, you can go ahead and it will connect it to the lead that was there last time. So that's what that button's for. I hit the save button here, and now it takes it off my new leads list and puts it onto my current leads list. So here is my list of current leads, and if I were Ryan Malone, I could come over here and say, all right, here's all my current leads right now that I'm working on, and he can, you can sort them by date, by the projected close dates on these, so that the ones that are the closest come up first, and the ones that are more out there. A sales manager could actually come into this list and do all sales reps and sort by sales reps here, and then they could go down the list and look and kind of see who's getting the right information. What are the projected ones that are coming up next? When are the next ones that are projected to close? How come these don't have any dates on them? And find people that they need to follow up on things. A sales manager could even come in here and click on here and do a new task. If you wanted to tell Ryan Malone that, hey, you need to go get, this would be for Ryan Malone here, get more information or something like that. Call and get more information. Or I guess you can't call, you email and get more information because you don't have his phone number yet or whatever. And then you could send a task off to Ryan Malone to do that, right? So that's how this would kind of work out. Now you'll notice that some of these leads over here, they also have a history that goes along. Maybe like this lead right here already has an invoice I think this lead right here is connected to an invoice, or they already have an invoice filled out, number 18. You can actually double click on it and it will bring you right over to invoice number 18 on the invoice window. So there's a history for each of these leads that are in here too. If they have leads or invoices that are actually attached to them. So that's how you would fill out a new lead and how they get to the current. Now, complete means that once they come out of the current, you either won or lost that lead, And your salespeople are probably going to have to go down through here and clean these up every now and again and say, we won that one, nope, we lost that one. So let's just say Darth Vader here, we actually did not win this, we lost this one, like so. And then you'll save that. So now once you say if they're won or lost, they come over onto the completed list over here, and you can start tracking how many ups somebody had, how many leads that they were given, how many they won, how many they lost. The other thing that you can do from this screen is if you have a current lead like Sam Smith here, you can actually click on the invoice button up here, and it will start a brand new invoice for that lead. So you can transfer all the information that you got out of the lead window, transfer it over onto the invoice, and start creating an invoice that will match up to that lead. And once you save the invoice in the system like this, you can come back to the lead section, and it'll actually show that this is connected to invoice number 27. And then if you come back over here to invoice number 27, you can see it's connected to lead number 12. So once you get your leads and your invoices hooked up to each other, you can kind of skip back and forth in between them. You can search for leads over here just like you can on the invoice window. You notice you can go by last name or by lead number and put a date range in there. So all that works the same. I think this right here, this lookup button, this is to look up a contact. So if you know this person is already in your system, you could look them up by either their last name or their phone number, or their street, whatever, and look up that thing. So if I put in here, I want last name CL, like that, you can see I already have Santa Claus in here. And then if you double click on that, it would bring all of Santa Claus's information into the program here. And so you wouldn't have to retype everything back in. And then it's connected to the contacts in our system. You'll want to go to the contact section or the contact video to learn more about contacts. That should be all for this video. Thank you, and goodbye.